O'Reilly. Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today. O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is a podcast from Minute Media.
Hashtag no music, no intro. Another episode of Hashtag Saints Twitter podcast coming at you. We are on the precipice of training camp starting. Usually doesn't start until the 27th of July, which is next Wednesday. I think the rookies either they have reported. I know we just talked about it. Yes, like the last episode. But they will be reporting, I believe it's this week. The 19th, sorry. So they report tomorrow. But what we wanted to do, so this week the schedule for the show is that we're gonna finish up going through every team, hopscotching around, talking about every team in the NFC. And then either later this week on Wednesday or Thursday, probably around like on Thursday, we're going to have an episode that's entitled 5 Most Burning Questions That We Have. So Ryan and I will each have 5 questions as training, like a week before training camp. That's just really just what are our questions that we want to see for this team, training camp in general. So we're each going to have 5. Hopefully they don't overlap, and if they do, we'll figure it out. And then we'll try, fingers super crossed, next week that before I go on vacation to Hawaii, that hopefully we can get Greg Cosell on here and just talk about football and like deep, nerdy football shit. So we have a lot of things kind of getting going as training camp is around the corner. But before we get into any of that, 2 things I wanted to talk to you about that I've seen on Twitter. I've been part of one conversation. The first one I want to start with you is the Cam Jordon conversation. It was put on social media today. They came by like the NFL CBS Twitter account. Just asking, is Cam Jordon a Hall of Famer? Should he be in Cam? And I feel like it's a very interesting discussion in terms of if he is or isn't. There are some, I'll say this, there are players that have recently gotten to the Hall of Fame where I'm like, And if I'm using that prism, I would say that he's a Hall of Famer. But if you're using kind of like a very jagged, then I think it's a little more complicated. So I saw a couple of your tweets today about it. But what are your feelings, Ryan, in terms of if Cam Jordon is a Hall of Famer or not?
Well, I think if he was if he retired today and just didn't play anymore, I think he'd be a borderline Hall of Famer. Like, he'd be in the conversation when the voters vote, and I think he would be like, on a semifinalist and finalist list. Would he make it? It might be hard for him to make it through. Because look, he's had 107 sacks. One thing about defensive end is like it's not really hard to quantify. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, did you have a lot of sacks? How long did you play? Were you an impact player on your team? Were you defensive player of the year? Did you get MVP votes? Stuff like that. Like, he hadn't got any MVP votes. He's never been defensive player of the year. It took him, a couple years to kind of really heat up. The badge he wears is he has extraordinary health, like extraordinary availability.
Yes.
I ain't gonna say health because he's played injured, but he has extraordinary availability. He has extraordinary motor, and he has been able to compile, sacks and pressures and hits, over a lot of snaps, over a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? That's not taking nothing, but I mean, that's like a good part of his game. Like, you know what I'm saying? But just with the Hall of Fame, you just got to push it a little further. Like, so I think for him to really like submit himself, because he's on a trajectory, but I think he needs to play a couple of more years and have like a couple more seasons of. Right now, you got 107 sacks. If he can get up to like, if he could be the Saints leading sack leader, if he can get up to like 130 sacks, something like that for his career, maybe squeeze in a Super Bowl, whether that's with the Saints or not. I think he would solidify himself. First ballot, I don't know, man. Like, first ballot, bro.
If he gets in, I never thought it was first ballot. Like,
exactly. It's like I was just talking to my dude Kevin on Twitter. He was like, man, he's first ballot. I'm like, bro, like first ballot is like the elite. You know what I'm saying? Like absolutely. The elite of the elite. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Cam Jordon is a really, really, really good player. Like a great player. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think anybody ever tagged him as like this elite pass rusher. You know what I'm saying? Because he has never had that, 19, 20, 21 sack season. You know what I'm saying? Where he's just like, he's in the MVP voting, he's in the Defensive Player of the Year voting. He's just never had that season. You know what I'm saying? He's just had like consecutive, consistent, like really good seasons, which is great. Like that's a great career, like a great career. But first ballot Hall of Fame, you got to have like two or three of those seasons up where you just like annihilating everybody. You know what I'm saying? And
I would think that, and I could be misremembering, but I feel like, and it could be recency bias as well, that was his best season in 2018 as a pro.
It was 19. It was 19 actually. He had 15 and a half sacks.
That's okay. It was 19. I was confusing.
Yeah. So he's had his first season, he had 1 sack, then 8 sacks, then 12 and a half sacks, then 7 and a half, then 10, 7 and a half, then 13, 12, 15, 7, and 12. You know what I'm saying? Like those are like great. Like he's the best Saints DN we've had since Pat Swilling. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been that great. You know what I'm saying? But like Pat Swilling is not a Hall of Fame. So that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got Ricky Jackson, and he's catching up. He's right on Ricky. I wondered if he could catch up to Ricky. I don't know what the number is. I think he's like 20 sacks away from Ricky Jackson. So he could get there. But even Ricky, it took Ricky Jackson a long time to get in the NFL. I mean, in the Hall of Fame, man. He wasn't the first ballot,
Yeah, and it's just that I don't know, man. Like it's like I don't like to like be on the fence with these type of things, you know what I mean? But like it's hard for me to say, man.
Man. I just say he's been great at playing a long time. Like it wouldn't shock me at all if he could squeeze another 3 years out. I was worried this past year. I was like, man, it's Cam Jordon.
Well, man, we thought we had seen that. We thought it was. We didn't think he was going to be on the team this upcoming season.
Man, it was looking bad. So if that's not the fact, and he could play 2-3 more years, I think he got a chance. But it's going to have to be that, you know what I'm saying? Because he's not going to bust out in a 21 sack season, this year. It's just not going to happen.
Ricky Jackson ended up with 136 sacks in his career, 123 in New Orleans.
Okay.
That's the same.
Okay. So he could definitely break his Saints sack record. So the 123, he'd be what? He'd be 23, 13. He'd be 16 away. He's 16 away from the Saints sack record. But his career sack record, what was that? 137, 136?
136. So he's 30. No. Yeah, right.
He's 29 away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard, man.
Like them sacks are hard, man. Like the sacks it's unfortunate we judge them by sacks because it's a very random. Like you could have an 8 sack season and still have like a great season. Or you could have a 15 sack season and you'll be like, it's an okay season. So because that's just one, like that's think about it, 15 sacks. That's 15 snaps out of like 900 snaps. 15.
Right.
So it's but usually if you're getting double-digit sacks, that means you're also disrupting the quarterback, you're hitting the quarterback, you're pressuring the quarterback. So it's just a tally that we look at and we use.
Yeah, like unfortunately when it's Hall of Fame discussion, no one could be like, well, Cam Jordon was a great run stopper. Like that doesn't come.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Like, nobody cares, man. Unfortunately, like he had 8 stops in the game. It's like nope.
It's like it means nothing in terms of like Hall of Fame and things like that. Unfortunately,
for me personally, though, like he's my Hall of Famer, just for the fact that one stat where he has sacked Matt Ryan more than any combination of a pass rusher and quarterback in NFL history. Like that to me, he's solidified. Like he's done. He don't need to do nothing else for me. He don't need to do nothing else.
It's funny because we talk about. I know that the play he made against Dallas is the second.
Yeah,
it's the second clip in that CBS NFL clip that posted it today. Like that play, I still remember it, man. Like it was like he just he was getting held by Lyle Collins, got held, still sacks Dak Prescott against. That was the game where the offense against Dak I remember I was like, man, Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch gonna be a problem. Like these dudes.
And that's when the offense was humming. Like the offense was looking unstoppable. 2018, beating everybody. And what's the pass rusher for Dallas?
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Talking about hot boys and this and that.
Yep.
He was talking that shit. I'm like, Lord.
Yeah, Ryan Ramchick down working that game.
Oh boy. That game really changed that season, man, because the Saints were just looking unstoppable up until that game. And
and it's crazy because they still that play by Cam Jordon still gave them a chance to win the game.
Still gave them a chance to win the game. They had a chance to win that game. The game was 13-10.
Yeah, it was. And that was also the game that like Michael Thomas got shut out, had like a terrible game.
Yeah.
They was doing the God, fucking Cowboys, man. I hate them so much. I can't stand them.
Breeze up until that point had his worst. That was his worst game he ever had at that point. Like he had like 120.
Oh my God, it was an awful game. And that was like also the game where like Alvin Kamara got hit in the head numerous times. Helmet to helmet contact didn't get called. God, I just remember just being just
But I just remember that Cam Jordon play, and I was like, bro, I was just hyping here. Like, that's what the fuck you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you do on third down in the red zone.
Game on the line, bro.
And game on the line, it's on you. I mean, it's late in the game. When 10 players are tired, gassed out, that's when you do it. Like, that to me, if he does make the Hall of Fame, like, that's a clip I play.
You have to.
Hall of Fame, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it's all about.
That one, and also people brought up his sack against Cam Newton in the playoffs.
Beautiful.
You know what's crazy? That was like the last great Cam Newton game, bro.
It really was. It really was, man, because he was on it. He was on it. He was throwing some pinpointers, just
concussed and all, bro.
Throwing I don't even remember who he was throwing to. He was.
I couldn't even tell you. Can't even tell you, bro. So that's one of the discussions that I saw on social media. I want to talk about on the pod. The next one I want to talk about was, speaking of social media, it's downtime. So the Saints Twitter account, shout out to our dude Alex. I don't know if Alex posted this, but they posted like a 3 minute, 30-second clip of just Demario Davis and some of his plays he's made as a Saint since they signed him before the 2018 season. And I watched it, bro, and I was just like, man, dreamt of times like these, bro. Like
it almost made me upset. It was like, man, like I would pick a time like this to disconnect,
right?
Because I waited all these years for like a good linebacker, and we finally got one.
Good linebacker, good defense. And that's when we were like, you know what? That's enough for me.
Because man, the Mario, man, Jesus, that was a great highlight. Like that
was man, ridiculous. Like you can't look at that.
I forgot how crazy he went off in that Seattle game.
He won the game. He won the game for him. He won the game for him. There's a play where he like stoned the offensive lineman so badly, like he pushes him into the running back. I was like, just forgot, bro. Like we are so spoiled, which makes me also, as a fan, glad that the Saints realize, like, listen, we can't have like a leader of our defense not taken care of, right? Because he probably was feeling some type of way with, his contract extension. He got extension 2020 or 2021. I forget. I think it was 2020, like week 1, or that's when it was announced by Aaron Andrews. Saw what the linebacker market had became, was probably like, man, like sign that contract extension a little early, like a little too soon.
Like, throw your boys something.
And the Saints took care of him, man. Which is good, because just watching that, I was like, God damn. So anyway, I quote tweeted, and I said, easily as a free agent pickup, he's a top 3 Saints free agent signing of all time.
So Drew Brees, Greer, and Demario Davis, like
so that's where the debate is between like who is a better free agency addition, Jabari Greer, cornerback.
Well, the thing with Greer is he's always going to have that extra notch because of the Super Bowl.
Yes, because of the Super Bowl. Yes. The way I said is that if you just go by straight talent, right? Just straight talent, it's not close. It's not close. But
talent and availability.
Yes. But I will say that the 2009 season, because it's probably like, it's been a while, right? Since we traveled back, and like the things that Jabari Greer did that season against number 1 cornerbacks was kind of like what Marshawn did his rookie season, right? We didn't know taking him out the game, bro. Like we didn't know much about him. Like I didn't, especially back then.
No.
But I was like, okay, they signed this cornerback from Buffalo. Cool. Like
I wanted the little dude from the Rams. I forgot his name. I was like, man, we hope we get that Rams cornerback. Then it fell through. And
not what you call it. Who was it?
I can't remember his name, man. It's gone. Like
not the one that went to the Jets, and then that was later.
No, that was later.
Yeah,
there's another guy. They were high on him, and they were targeting him early in the free agency. It fell through, and then they got Greer out of Buffalo. I was like, who? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like Jabari Greer, we'll see who this is. Undrafted guy, you know what I'm saying? Man, that dude came in there and was like shutting them down.
Down, bro. Like completely shutting number 1 corners down. And so and people were like, no, it's DeMario by a landslide. And I get it, right? But part of me was like, it's like you said, without Jabari, that Super Bowl doesn't happen. But to shout out to one of our listeners, Nicholas was like, well, without the no call, maybe DeMario would have one right now. It's hard. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to say.
That's the multiverse, bro. Like, I don't know what to say. Like, multiverse of madness, man. Like, you can go crazy with that.
But we're talking about it because I still give a slight edge to Jabari Greer. What is your opinion?
I give it to DeMario, man. Just because the availability, like Greer's problem was always availability. Like even that Super Bowl year, he missed. Like I think it was after that Miami game, He missed pretty much almost the rest of the season, and then came back
Did
to
he?
the playoffs.
God damn! Did I miss that?
Yeah, he missed like half the season, man. We brought in we had players
Yeah,
that
because
was
that's
chilling at home. Mike McKenzie,
Mike McKenzie. Yeah.
I forgot that dude from the Ravens.
Chris
McAllister.
McAllister.
Chris McAllister. Like we had nobody, bro. Like we had Malcolm Jenkins lining up playing outside, getting smoked. It was terrible. It almost derailed the season. The fact that he was gone, like you know what I'm saying. But he came back in the playoffs, and like you literally didn't hear a whisper. Like you wouldn't even know he played in the playoffs because he just didn't get targeted. Man, he just shut his guys down. Just period. You know what I'm saying? So, and even in the Super Bowl game, I remember he left like for one snap, and it was a touchdown.
They put in Usama Young.
So Usama Young, yeah, it was a touchdown. It was a touchdown. So
John Payne John Payne knew it too, bro. He was like,
man, tell Roman get his ass back there, man. Roman, man. Whew. That's some stressful defenses, bro.
Stressful, man. Stressful. I get it. I think when you put,
but you're not wrong. Like either way, you're not wrong, man.
I think when you put in that context, though, I had completely forgot he missed so many games in 2009. Like I don't know why, but I just blanked out on it. Just completely.
But then, like man, he started getting his body together. He was a great leader. And then, what season was that? The 2013 season. Man, yes. He had a great stretch, man. Before he got hurt in that San Fran game. He was playing outstanding, bro. He's like a veteran, older cornerback. He was playing great, and he got hurt, and that was pretty much the end.
Man. I don't know, because they're not right all the time. And obviously it has drastically changed over the years of the team. But I will say that sometimes in terms of like the pro personnel department for the Saints, man, when they get it right, bro.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
Like they have this at times, again, it's not all the time, but at times they have this innate ability to target a player that isn't a big name, that they just see, quote unquote, a vision for them. And I think they also see like, man, this fucking team ain't using that dude, right?
Yeah.
But we get him. And it's usually been on defense, oddly enough, which is weird. Demario Davis, Jabari Greer. I mean, those are two at the top. But there's been other little signings here and there that they've done. So I know we shit on them from time to time in terms of some of the personnel decisions they make and things like that.
It's the ones that miss. It's funny. And the dude's name was Ryan Bartell, the cornerback.
Oh, that's fucking right. Oh, shit.
Ryan Bartell, yeah. And we missed a big one because he barely played after that. Like he played in 2009, 2010, and like his career just went downhill.
I feel old as shit now because I haven't thought of that name in years.
Either me, I had to look it up.
Oh shit! Yeah, it sure was. It was. Oh, I know who I'm thinking of. No, was it Cortland Sutton? No, not Cortland Sutton. It was. They also missed the boat on.
I know you're talking about.
He played for the Rams and he went to the Jets. And the Saints were gonna Tremaine
Johnson. Yeah, Tremaine Johnson.
Yeah.
They wanted him bad. Like they wanted him like 2 years straight. They kept trying to get him, and it never happened. Thank goodness.
Yeah, because at one point when he was with the Rams, he was like a restricted free agent, and they were going to sign him to an offer sheet, but they like never did. But that's like another one. So I'm giving all them this credit, but they've been
luck, man. Some of
it is luck. Josh Norman, luck.
Josh Norman. So they put the private jet out there, like, man, look, come here, baby.
Luck. So, anyway, hold on. I'm reading this real quick for Tremaine Johnson. 2 years after he left the LA Rams for $72 million, and 3 years after his second year as the Rams franchise player, Tremaine Johnson signed with the Carolina Panthers as a member of their practice squad in 2020.
Damn. That boy was on the practice squad. Damn.
Practice squad, bro.
Man, can you imagine that shit?
That was in 2020. That's crazy. Like, what is he doing now? Like, that's wild, man. That's wild. So I'm talking all this about, pro personnel, them getting, they getting it right. It's not a feeling, but it's more just a general hope that with Justin Evans, I'm not saying he's going to be a starter or anything like that, but if he could just be like a third safety, bruh, he was in the second round, like just a little sneaky move like that would be great.
Man, that'd be awesome, man. Definitely a dark horse, bro. Because nobody has any expectations. You know what I'm saying? So
none at all. All right, so let's get into breaking down the rest of we broke down the AFC. So if you haven't listened to that show, go back and listen to the AFC. Towards the end, we're a little low. We're a little low on energy. So we back on the NFC.
I was like that Popeyes lady, boy. I was like,
think I was ready to go to bed.
Man.
But let's start with the one of the best divisions in football. I'm gonna start with the NFC West. I'm not gonna start with the NFC South. I'm gonna start with the NFC West. Let's start with the Carolina. I'm dumb. Sorry. Let's start with the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Nothing.
Want me to go?
Yeah. I thought they were just so mediocre to you that you just have nothing to say.
No, man. I mean, look. Obviously the major story is Kyler. Like, it's crazy how the narrative shifts so quickly.
Change.
They started the season 0-7. 7-0, 6-0, something like that. They were on a crazy winning streak. Kyler getting MVP talk, this and that and the other. And now we're here where
they're trying to get him extended, bro.
They're trying to get it extended. Kyler, he not sure if he won't be there or not. Media like, is he that good? Is he really good? Players don't really like him. He's not a leader, this and that. I just don't know how this plays out, man. To me personally, you pay the dude. Like, you pay him whatever it is. Obviously, the Deshaun Watson contract throws a monkey wrench in everything regarding quarterbacks. But, there's no rush. He's under contract right now. They want to make it happen, so, they just need to make it happen. But I think I like Kyler Murray, bro. Like, I think he's figuring it out.
Also, he's still young, man. Like,
so young, man.
Why don't people? I get it, and I know it's a 2022 thing, but this whole thing of and I get it. Maybe he wasn't the best teammate, and I've heard that. I've heard some things that are ooh,
24 years old. He's younger than Joe Burrow. You know what I'm saying?
I will the whole thing that Mike Lombardi kind of pointed out that when Buda Baker got hurt in the game against, I think it was the Seahawks or whatever. And everybody was on the field, and Kyler Murray was like, "I didn't get hurt. One me." It's. I will say it's funny that he made a point of that, because sometimes people and players are people, right? So I remember after Brandon Cooks got traded, and I went back and I watched a YouTube highlight of all of Michael Thomas's fucking touchdowns that he went off in his rookie season. And I just noticed man, everyone on the field giving Michael Thomas love in the end zone. Brandon Cooks is never fucking, bro, never, bro. Never a dap up, never a high five, never a chest bump, nothing. And then it was so then before he got traded, it was he wanted to be the number one dude. Shit like that is telling. I will say that. But Tyler's 24. that's young. He has some maturing to do. But Kyler aside, man, when we talked about this last season, and I feel like it's even worse this season because players are just now older. But like this roster makeup is so weird in Arizona, man. Like,
Marquise Brown, AJ Brown,
Newt missing 6 games, Zach Ertz, and then defensively you have how do you fuck up Isaiah Simmons and Xavier Collins?
That's what I'm trying to figure out because them dudes,
how?
like, why are they not like studs right now?
How? Like, I think those are 2 players that if they went, I'm not saying that the Saints would use them properly, but they went to like New England. Like Bill Belichick's gonna get the most out of players like that, and the Cardinals have like done this for years, bro. Hassan Reddick, like they draft these players, these defensive positionless players, and then they don't know how to use them, and then it's just like they're just become these huge fucking busts, bro. Like that's just their like. And who's rushing the passer on this team? J.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, and then it's in Las Vegas. They went 11-6 last season. Are they gonna have a winning record this season, bro? I don't think so. I don't know.
I think it'd be bad.
I think it'd be 8-9. Not like bad, but like 8-9.
But
like
that's why I give Kyler a little like leeway, man. It's like damn, it's like, is this like y'all keep talking like this man should be leading them to the promised land. I'm like, have y'all seen this roster, bro? Like, to me, he getting a lot out of it. To me,
yeah, man. Like for them, like I know they went in the shit like late last season in the playoffs, and that was kind of their trend 2 seasons ago. So something got to be fixed, bro. Like they do the opposite of what Sean Payton used to do. Like November, December, Sean Payton was notorious for winning. The Cardinals say, you know what, our season done. Like, he only playing half a season. But in the NFC West, and I know Seattle's probably going to be ass water, but in the NFC West, I really think a team like the Cardinals could go like 8-9, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't think you're crazy, bro.
Let's move over to a team that I used to can't stand. Now I'm indifferent to them, but a fascinating team in the San Francisco 49ers. They went 10-7 last year, and then they got into the playoffs. They went 10-7, just like the Bengals went 10-7 in the regular season, bro. That's why, like regular season stuff, like it's important, but as long as you get to the dance, it's all that fucking matters, man. Because it gets crazy after that. 10-7, they get to the NFC Championship game, led by their defense, led by Deebo Samuels, and there's a lot of things going on with this team. So they probably more than likely within the next month or so are going to change Jimmy Garoppolo, handing the keys to Trey Lance as quarterback of the future. Deebo hasn't got extended yet. They got to extend Nick Bosa. Defensively, they still got talent across the defensive board, but their secondary is kind of meh to me.
Isn't that always the case, though?
Yeah,
how they get it done, I don't understand.
You're right. They get coached up a lot. But obviously the key of the season for the 49ers is all tied to Trey Lance. And
man,
because there were times where Jimmy Garoppolo looked so bad last season, I was like, how is he not playing? Was Trey Lance that bad in like practice or whatever that like they just couldn't play him? Because Jimmy G was atrocious last season, bro. Especially late after that injury.
Oh yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I have no opinion on Trey Lance.
None.
I mean, because you barely had college tape, so it's just like, oh yeah, he's athletic, he throws a nice ball. And that's it. So it's like they know more about him than anybody in the league. I don't care what the media says about him. Kyle Shanahan knows. So the fact that Jimmy G is still on the team just tells me something, man. Like, because if Trey Lance was Patrick Mahomes right now, like they could, like the Chiefs couldn't wait to get rid of Alex Smith.
Got rid of him so quick, bro.
They've seen enough of Patrick Mahomes. They're like, bye. Bye.
And that was like all in practice, bro. Like
right. All in practice. So they knew what they had. I don't think Kyle Shanahan is that confident.
Yep.
He knows he has a guy that's talented, this and that, but I just think it'll take a little work. And I'm not saying, you need to turn the page on Trey Lance. Like, you need to let him play and figure it out. But I don't know, man. But man, they've been able to squeeze a lot out of little, like with Kyle Shanahan and what he's able to do. Debo saying, well, did he get paid or not? I can't remember.
Nope.
He never got paid. We'll see how that plays out. But yeah, they're gonna be in the mix, bro. Like,
yes,
they're always in the mix.
Annoyingly will be in the mix for sure. I mean, to a point though, they kind of have to be, because if they're not like in the mix, then like those they not get their first round picks are still gone.
Yeah, that's
for next
true.
Season. Like they gotta be in the mix. What's going on? Like, I think just the Seahawks are just low key, just doing like a little reset. They went 7-10 last season. Traded away Russ. They appear to be going into the season. This is like with either Drew Lock or Geno Smith as their starter at quarterback. It wouldn't shock me if Jimmy Garoppolo got traded to the Seahawks. So maybe he's their starter. Even if you have one of those three quarterbacks, this roster construction, like this is a reset without them going out and saying it's a reset.
Yeah. It's not a really good roster. The defense, I don't believe in it. I mean, they still got Al Wood, man. Al Woods, baby.
Saints legend, baby. And when the Saints draft LSU players, they become legends in the league.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about these Seahawks, man. Like, bro, like if Pete Carroll can squeeze 9 or 10 games out this roster,
stop it. Stop.
I'm just saying, if he can, bro, like the dude, legit, he's a great head coach, man. Like
that's coach of the year, bro. Nigga, if he get 8 to 9 wins with this team,
man.
And I'll say this, man. I know DK Metcalf had some issues with Russ, like they had some tension, some beef, bro. They think he might see real quick, like.
It's cold out there, Ray. It's like, what is up with Russell and his receivers, man? They always seem to have some kind of something. I don't know.
Like, so skill position wise, right? This team has DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, the guy that we both liked last year, and Eskridge from Washington State, wherever he went to school at.
Yeah,
and then they got Noah Fant in the Russell Wilson trade, he flashed as a rookie, but then after that he's kind of been non-existent. But he's like a prospect with high upside potential, what have you. Like there's talent there. I guess I don't know if Chris Carson's gonna ever play football again. Like I saw those fucking screws in his neck, bro, and it's just ugh. But they drafted Kenneth Walker. Wait, no, it's Kenneth Walker. They drafted Kenneth Walker in the second round. They re-signed the running back I want the Saints to sign in the offseason, whose name is escaping me right now.
Rashard Penny.
There you go. They re-signed Rashard Penny. Like this is like Greg Rosenthal has said, like this Seahawks team is a Pete Carroll wet dream, though, bro.
Oh yeah, no question.
Run it 25 times, have shots here and there. Kind of how the Saints played with Jameis last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, yeah. But do they have that defense? It's like that's my question. It's like
right.
I'm not seeing it. Like the defensive end, right? Shelby Harris. Okay, it's like who is, the Darnell Taylor and
they do have my guy, USC 42. They signed him.
Oh yeah,
from the Chargers, but like, I don't know, man. Like this, it wouldn't shock me. It will probably shock me a little bit. Like this team wouldn't shock me if they're picking top 5 in the draft next season, bro.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
It's that bad. Let's fucking wrap up with fucking Rams, bro. I want to talk about these dudes. You know what pisses me off the most about the Rams? The no call aside. Well, actually, it kind of ties into the no call. No call happens. They win a Super Bowl. Not after the no call, but they win a Super Bowl this past season. Like, I live in LA, bro. I live here. You would have known that the Rams won the fucking Super Bowl. Isn't that wild?
That's wild.
Like I drive all over LA for work. Like you might see like someone wearing like a Rams championship hat here and there, bro. But like, and yes, on game days, especially in SoFi, like that, the stadium and they pack, the fans pack the stadium, everything. But like, this is still not like a football city. It's just wild, man. Like, and the only football that this city gets really hyped for is that when USC used to be really good. But other than that, bro, like this is still like Raiders country, honestly. It really is. But they got Matthew Stafford an extension. Aaron Donald's back. Yay. Oh, what do we do to our wide receiver core, even though we already have Cooper Kupp? Oh, how about we just go out and get Allen Robinson? Oh, okay. Oh, Bobby Wagner. Seahawks didn't want you. Come play for us. They went 12-5 last season, won a Super Bowl. Probably like they're one of the best teams in the NFL, right?
Straight up,
bro. We hate to say it, they just are. They will more than likely, unless there's an injury, be playing in the playoffs. I don't even have anything to say about this team. Like, I don't want to talk about them, bro. I really don't.
Look, even when there are deficiencies, they're gonna address them, bro. They're gonna trade a 2026 first round pick. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do. They're gonna do whatever they gotta do to address the deficiencies that they see early in the season, man. It's like, I hate it that's them, because that's how I would run my team. Like,
right?
I hate it has to be them, bro. I hate it.
But that's how they do business. That whole mindset of it's gonna catch up with Les Reed. Man, just won a Super Bowl last year, man. They fine. They fine. I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's move on to the NFC North. Let's start with the Detroit Lions. Everybody got some feeling good in Detroit, bro. Feeling good in, like, there's a lot of, obviously I feel like they feel like they have the right guy in place in Dan Campbell to lead them. Don't know why Sean Payton couldn't step down the season earlier, but got Dan Campbell in place. They have a great rookie wide receiver, Amon St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown, excuse me. Got DeAndre Swift. Like, there's a lot of good vibes for this team right now. But part of me as a just person who watches football, like I gotta see it. Like, y'all went 3-13 last season. Like, got Aiden Hutchinson in the draft. Thought that was a great pick. I thought he was kind of over analyzed as a prospect. Think he'll be fine, especially in Detroit. But like, for them to be taken seriously, like a team that's finally like on the come up or in the right direction, like, they gotta go out and win like 6-7 games this season, man.
You know, they OC Ben Johnson, Man, you got to get the most out of Jared Goff. But you know, they give him talent. You got Jameson Williams. I don't know where he is at with his injury, but
it sounds like he's probably not going to play until like maybe mid-October or maybe November. Like it sounds like they're being very conservative with his rehab, which
and
they should.
Yeah, you got DJ Chark. You got Amon St. Brown.
Forgot they signed DJ Chark.
Yeah, man, they got Chark. They got Corey Sutton. Like they got talent, bro. Like, man, Jared Goff, man. And the thing is, it's crazy because Jared Goff, man, look, hey, he went to a Super Bowl. He went head to head with Patrick Mahomes in that like crazy game in Mexico. So he can put up points. It's not like he's a weird quarterback that's so dependent on like a great play caller that has everything solved for him. And I don't just think that they just don't have that in the building for him right now. I don't think so. So it's going to be one of those annoying teams that you probably look at like, man, it's a pretty good team if they had a quarterback.
Yes, that and I think this is just like a reminder in terms of like how quickly things can change and things like that. NFL wise, is just man, they drafted Jeff Okuda in like the third overall pick in the draft. Man, he like, is he gonna make the 53-man roster? Like
I don't know, bro. He just hadn't been good. Like hadn't been healthy.
Yeah, like he got he tore his Achilles, I believe. Yeah,
I've seen him on the field when healthy. He's not good. And
I don't get it.
Like I've seen him. Man. I watched him in college. He was great in college. I don't understand. Maybe it's the pass rusher help. Hopefully, Aiden Hutchinson and maybe they can get some kind of team pass rush going. They got Brockers.
We'll see.
I'm going. I don't know.
But I feel like they got to win. They got to get to 6 and 7 to be like, okay, these guys going in the right direction.
I think they were like a year away.
Yes, that I would agree with that. Let's go to Chicago and let's talk about malpractice because I know we've talked in the past about the neglecting in terms of offensive weapons on the team for the Saints. It's bad enough to do that regardless of who your quarterback is, but when you have a rookie quarterback like Justin Fields, bro, I don't think he's gonna make it to the season. And I'm not saying like he's gonna get benched. Like I think they're gonna get him killed out there, bro. Like what are they doing? Like I know I've read some reports or whatever that was like basically they're doing like a silent rebuild, but like this is your quarterback of the future right now.
Need to do a loud rebuild. Like what do you
yeah.
Don't need no silent rebuild. Like, bro, I mean, they just traded for who did trade for from New England?
Oh, the Kill Harry, bro.
Kill Harry. Like that's like the number 2.
they got Kill Harry
behind Mooney.
It's gross, man. And then they drafted that tackle out of like Oklahoma State, whose name is escaping me right now, and they drafted him and they had cut Charles Leno before like this guy even got on the field. And like he didn't play like any of last season, I believe, or maybe a couple of games and he got hurt. And Charles Leno went to the Commanders and he's like a decent right tackle. And so the guy that they drafted, like, is he good? I don't know. Like it's just I feel bad for Justin Fields, man. I feel like as a prospect, I felt he was a little overhyped, but I saw immense talent in him as a prospect. But for him to go to Chicago and for the whole thing with Matt Nagy and now they have like a defensive head coach and I don't like this for him, man. I don't like. I'm not a Bears fan. Like fuck the Bears, but like as a player, as a person that just likes watching like young players succeed, especially quarterbacks. this thing just reeks, bro. It's terrible.
No, I don't feel good about it at all. And the defense isn't good anymore. Yeah, they got Robert Quinn, and
he wants to be out. He wants to get traded.
Yeah, he don't even want to be there. They got our dude Al-Qadim Muhammad.
Oh shit! Did he went to Chicago? I don't know.
Yeah, he's in Chicago, but it's not much there, bro. It's I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about it at all. Like they could be picking top 5.
Easy. Do they have their pick? Do they have their pick next season? I think they do.
I think they do.
Yeah, I think they do. Yeah, it looks. I don't know, man. Like like these it's a poorly constructed team. Like
terribly constructed.
Man, they went 6-11 last season, and if they get to 4 or 5 wins, might be hard. It might be hard. Let's go over to the Minnesota Vikings. You know what the Minnesota Vikings as a team feels to me, bro? Groundhog Day. Same fucking song. Playing over and over again, bro. They had a chance this offseason to like maybe kind of like, all right, we've done the Kirk Cousins experience enough. Like we want to go in a new direction.
And it's tough.
It is, man. It is very tough. They extended him like an extra year for like cap relief purposes and shit like that. Offensively, like they're still pretty decent. Like good on. You got Justin Jefferson. You got Adam Thielen, although he needs to be healthy. He was very hurt last season. Dalvin Cook, I guess, is going to play, but I don't know what's going on with like his whole domestic abuse case.
Oh
yeah. And then defensively, obviously not the same defense that they were before. Like, what are your thoughts on the Vikings?
Like you said, man, just more of the same. I think they're going to be mediocre defensively. Offensively, I think they'll be fine. They're going to put up points, yards, going to surprise some games. It's just your quintessential, middling team that's going to probably be in a hunt, come late in the season. But I just don't see it. Like, they need to have something. They need to have a great offense or a really good defense. And I don't think they have either. They have a good offense, and I think the defense probably be bad. Like
the defense will probably so I will say I am excited to see what Louis Cine does in their defense. Him and Harrison Smith should be a nice, fun safety duo. Mm-hmm. And then in the second round, they drafted Andrew Booth, the cornerback from Clemson. Oh, yeah. So there's a lot of youth on defense, and sometimes that can be bad. And sometimes if you hit, it could be good. It could
be a boost. Yeah, they got Darius Smith.
What is?
Yeah, Hunter.
Yeah, I'm about to just ask, like, what he said, like, what is going on with Danielle Hunter in terms of like I know what's going on with him in terms of the injuries he's had and all like the neck issues, but like this is really like such an important season for him because like he was at one point one of the most like dominant pass rushers.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he has that ability. So, like, I think if they can get those guys up front really going and integrate that younger secondary, it could be a good team. Like, it wouldn't shock me if they figured it out and had like a good team, like a good 11-win team, because they have like enough talent on the team to squeeze that through. But it just got to come together, and I don't know if Kevin O'Connell, head coach, is the one to do it.
Like, that's right, man. So
like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. And then I guess the question is like going back to how do you fix the Kirk Cousins problem? because it's wild is that they drafted the quarterback from Texas A&M in the third round. I've gotten all these football names, bro. Like Kellen Mond, sorry, last year in the draft. Like, is he gonna put any pressure? Like, I don't know. Let's talk about the Packers. Everyone's just assuming Aaron Rodgers is gone. It'll be fine. He'll do what he needs to do. I will say this about the Packers. Defensively, they will be and should be great.
Yeah.
Great. And I feel like in a lot of ways, the Packers will be what the Saints were last season.
Interesting.
In terms of great defense, right? Great defense. I give them credit. They went out. They traded a lot in the second round to go up and get Christian Watson. So you have Christian Watson, you have Alan Lazard, and then they drafted a player from Clemson last year who's escaping my name. But like Robert Tonyan, he's gonna be hurt more than likely. Like we don't know like when he's gonna come back. I don't know, man. Like, so I feel like their defense will help them win a lot of games. But I think the playoffs kind of show like as great as Aaron Rodgers is, and he's great, but like him and this Devontae is just not gonna just magically fix everything.
Right. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like it's such a Super Bowl or bust team for them because it's almost becoming a trope the way just things have ended in the playoffs. So it's like, okay, we know what you could do in the offseason. I mean, in the regular season, we know it. We've seen it, and I think maybe they might like the underdog status this year. I don't know if they're gonna get it, but offensively, they got Sammy Watkins. We'll see what Christian Watson will do. Still got Alan Lazard. Amari Rodgers. Randall Cobb still on the team. Randall Cobb's still there. And they got, Bakhtiari holding ass.
I can't stand him.
So, I think the offense is going to still be good enough. Aaron Rodgers, he's hitting that age where it's like, does he have 1 foot in, 1 foot out the door? We'll see. We'll see. But I think, it's kind of becoming an interesting time for the Green Bay Packers. And they got Jordan Love just sitting there who they spent the first round pick on. It's like, I don't know. It feels like a team just kind of in a wishy-washy area.
It is because it feels like, okay, we're all in, but we also kind of need to look at the future. And it's like a team that's trying to kind of straddle both of those lines. And I feel like to a degree, right? That's why I see a lot of similarities in the Packers with the Saints over the last couple of seasons, bro. Like it's a tough line to straddle because especially when you have a great defense, and obviously it's completely different because they have Aaron Rodgers and the Saints don't. But when you have a great defense and you have seen what your defense can lead you to, then you're like, man, if we just get this thing right on offense, this player, we can cook. But it's like they had a good to dang good defense, and you had Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, and y'all still shouldn't have bet in playoffs. Ooh, oh, no, bro, y'all went on 13-4 last season. 13-4. Got a bye. Got embarrassed. In Green Bay by the 49ers. And as great as their defense was, can we talk about like what's going on with their special teams? Like, is that going to get? I mean, I know they got bought in a new special team coordinator, but something that Michael Lombardi says is it's every part of the team, every little part of the team. So we'll see. I'm just not just going to simply believe that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to like paint a coat over everything and it be fixed. All right, let's get to the NFC East. Giants. This gotta be if Daniel Jones don't show, they could get 9 lives in the NFL, man. Like what? And I get it, man, because he showed enough that he's like, oh no, he just fixed this and he just doesn't. They went 4-13 last season. One of those wins was against the Saints.
4-13, bro.
4-13. They should have went 3-14, bro. But won 4 games last season. They had Daniel Jones. They got Saquon. Offensive line should be like a plus, man. To some degree, like they'd invested 2 top 5 picks in offensive line, bro. Like some of those picks got a hit. Got Kadarius Toney. I have one. Is Kenny Golladay going to do anything this season, bro?
No.
This man was committing NFT fucking frauds against the Giants, bro. Like,
scamming, bro.
Stay scheme. They signed him, and then I remember just reading like the reports from like training camp, like he wasn't practicing because of an injury. The best game he had was against the Saints all season, bro. Of course it was. Like defensively, I'm kind of like okay. Like they got Leonard Williams in the middle. They got one of my favorite players in last year's draft or this year's draft. Sorry, Kayvon Thibodeau. Like they should have like the defense should be maybe exciting to watch. I don't know. We'll see. Right, we have to see on that. But if Bill, is it Bill who there's so many Bills in the NFL, the offense coordinator that used to be for the
Brian Dable.
Oh, no, I call him fucking Bill. Brian Dable, like if Brian Dable can't fix this offense, then I don't know what you do with Daniel Jones.
I don't know what you do. It's one of those things where I just gotta see it, man. I have no prediction. The Giants has been such a terrible team for so long now, which is crazy. But they've been like they've been like the worst team in the NFL for a good like 6-7 years now, bro. They've been bad. So like you gotta show me something, man, because right now I'd rather watch the Jaguars any day over the Giants.
Oh, easily. Yeah, it's not even remotely close. Let's get to the Washington Commanders. The word right from you, bro. Carson Wentz, Terry McLaurin. I don't know, man. You got Chase Young. Like, I know. And listen, man. Let me say this. Glad Ron Rivera beat cancer. Like, that's awesome. But if he get like a cancer bump, bro, like he get his hand a little long because like, and you know what's funny? Remember when he like beat cancer and then like no one on the team wants to get vaccinated, bro?
I don't give a shit about that dude, man.
But for Ron Rivera to be a defensive head coach and their defense been as putrid as it has been since he's been in Washington, we're not going to even get on the whole Daniel Snyder piece of business, just the whole shit show when it comes in terms of the Commanders. But we just focusing on right now on football. Like 7-10, and then you go out and you get Carson Wentz, who no one on any team he's been on can stand him. I don't know, man.
It feels like a repeat. Like they'll be feisty enough to win 6, 7, 8 games, but I just don't see a DNA there. Like, what am I looking at? Like, when I look at their roster, it's like, what is this? You know, they got some talent. You know, got Terry, got Scary Terry. You know, they got they drafted Jahan Dotson.
Oh shit, I forgot they drafted.
Yeah, got Danny Brown, and you know they got some talent at the wide receiver. Look, Carson Wentz. You know, say what you want about him, but I mean, he puts up offense. He gives you some offense. You know, a quarterback. So it's not like they won't be able to move the ball or something like that. They still got Curtis Samuel, so I think they'll be fine, bro. Like, but man, the NFC East is just not good, man. Like, it's not a good division, but it's an annoying division because, like, especially for the Saints, like, we'll lose to 2 or 3 of these teams.
Right.
We lost to the Giants. We lost to the Eagles. That Washington game was like not a gimme. And who else? Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just one of those teams that's like I think it'll be annoyingly good enough to hang around. It's like, oh shit, we gotta watch the Commanders again.
Oh yeah, precisely. I will say this about you brought up Curtis Samuel. Now I don't think they would do this, but if he has like another Mets training camp or just maybe and they like cut him, like take a little peek, see what's going on with Curtis, bro. He's got the Ohio State bloodline, bring him on through. But I don't know, man. Just good luck. If you're a Commanders fan, you listen to this podcast, God bless you. Ugh. Everyone's team that they love to hate, Cowboys. Let's talk about them.
Feel like this is a season they take a step back. Made the playoffs this past season. But
they went 12 and 5 last season.
But even then, like they went 12 and 5, but you just didn't feel like you were scared of this team. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think anybody was like, man, watch out for them Cowboys.
Like the best game they looked was like probably that first game against Tampa in week 1.
Yeah. We'll see where Dak is. He's healthier this year. They're not as good at the skill position, but still good. You got Michael Gallup, got CeeDee Lamb, they got the Schultz, the tight end. They got talent, man. Running back, ain't what it used to be. So I think offensively, maybe Dak won't be as prolific as he was, but I think he'd be good enough. And defensively, I think they do have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
I don't. Trevon Diggs, like he was amazing getting interceptions, but man, like cornerbacks like him scare me. Like as far as consistency. Then Light Vander Esch, he's still there.
Yeah.
Where is he? We got Booty Bandit. Booty Bandit, like he's a creep, but like the dude, a stud, man. Like
he is, man.
if he's unleashed, he could really like be problems. DeMarcus Lawrence back. Then they got Dante Fowler, whatever he does. So it's still like a good. It's still like a good team where it's hard for me to like. I don't see them being like a losing team, but I
don't know if they're 10-7.
Yeah.
And they go out like the first round of playoffs, bruh. Mike McCarthy better be looking over his shoulder, bruh.
Sean Payton. Do the Sean Payton.
Gotta be looking over his shoulder, bruh. And it'll be interesting to see what the offense does. Because I know they kind of were used to playing without Amari Cooper, but and as inconsistent as he was as a player and his availability was always up and down, like they're starting the season with CeeDee Lamb That's really it because Michael Gallup's still coming off injury, so he might, he's not going to play for maybe the first month and a half or 2 months of the season. So you come in, you starting the season with like CeeDee Lamb and like Dalton Schultz and like Zeke, like they gotta Tony Pollard. They gotta find a way to get him more involved. They gotta find a way to get him more involved. But they went 12-5 last season. To me, like they scream of like a 10-7 team. They really do. And I think if they go 10-7, they make the playoffs and they get beat in the first round of the playoffs, bro. Like Jerry Jones making that call. He is 100% making that call. Let's finish up the NFC East with the team that is getting an abundance of love and people love, bro, just love. Philadelphia Eagles.
Man, I want this team to be so bad. I can't stand them, bro. And especially after like the Saints made that trade, everybody was just like gang slurp, just jerking, bro. Jerking, just like, oh yes, the Eagles, they just know how to do it. It's like, get the fuck out of my face, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, they're talented. Like, it's no question about it.
Yes, they are very talented, stacked, deep team. But, and I get it. And Greg Rosenthal had said this, like, Jalen Hurts doesn't have to be great and blah, blah. And I get that because he doesn't, because he could be average to mediocre and they still probably make the playoffs, especially in the NFC East. And I know that him as a running threat is like scary. Like it's giving DA still haven't been able to fix it. Dennis Allen still has not been able to fix it. But he like quarterbacking, throwing the ball. He is still not a good quarterback. And I believe that. His accuracy is extremely scattershot. And I get it. If you have an inaccurate quarterback, you go out and you get a player like AJ Brown, because then the catch radius becomes bigger and they can go up with the ball. I get it. I understand football. They're a stacked team. They're probably going to win 10 to 12 games in the NFC East. But I guess my question is, can I trust Jalen Hurts to lead me deep in the playoffs?
I don't know, but maybe you can trust Gardner Minshew.
Oh, Minshew magic!
I just feel like we're gonna get some Minshew magic this
year,
bro.
You think we're gonna get some magic?
Yeah, man, I really do. And like you said about Jalen Hurts, man, like he's still very, very novice at quarterbacking as far as like just reading defenses and putting the ball where it's supposed to be. Like, I still think he has a ways to go, man. And then that could change. He could have, got much better this offseason, so we'll see. But I think that's where they're hurting right now. And defensively, man, they're as good as they get, man. Like, they're a little older on defense. So, that could cost them. They could see a lot of injuries. But, like, if everybody comes to play, not their team to be reckoned with, man.
Oh, yes. But I also understand. Your perspective just want them to be bad, bro.
Yeah, I hate them, man. I can't stand them, man. I hate the fans. I hate them. Like, I don't like them. Like some reason, the Eagles fans like hate the Saints. I'm like, why do you hate the Saints? What reason?
Probably because getting beat twice in the playoffs? No, 3 times in the playoffs. The Saints have beaten them 3 times in the playoffs. Right? Like, as a fan, if you're an opposing fan, I get some of that animosity, bro. Like,
I guess so, man. It's like, come on, man. It's like
it was a deuce game. It was the Marshawn pick off the hands of
in the 2013 season.
Alshon Jeffrey, and then the face mask on Sproles that set up the field goal. 3 times in the playoffs, bro. Like as a fan, you
as
get
a
it,
fan,
man.
it does stick with you. I
It
mean,
sticks in your crawl, bro. So like I kind of understand it, but anyhow, I expect the Eagles to be a good to maybe probably even a great team this season. I just gotta see how far they go with Jalen Hurts, and that's that's one of my questions.
Yeah, no, he's a linchpin.
I will if Jalen Hurts doesn't work out though. We all know this because you bought the trade, and even the trade. I think they got 3 first round picks in the first round next season, bro. Like if Jalen Hurts isn't the guy, they are in the position to go get potentially their guy.
They are.
Even though next year's quarterback draft class isn't that good. Anyway, go to the NFC South. It's in there. I did that on purpose, so motherfuckers have to listen, and hope you didn't fast forward.
I hate when other podcasts do that, by the way.
Had to, bro. Had to. The people would just probably fast forward. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about the Saints, because we're gonna talk about them on Thursday or whenever we do the 5 burning questions episode. But start with Panthers. Well, we kind of talked about them a little bit last week. They traded for Baker. They went 5-12 last season. Baker, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson. Is Christian McCaffrey going to last more than 4 or 5 games this season? As you would call them, a sweat equity defense. I don't know, man. Like Matt Rule's like coaching, like R. Kelly right now. Like I'm fighting for my life out here, bro. Like just. No.
Ben McAdoo, the OC, like when has Ben McAdoo been good? Like how does this dude get jobs, bro? Like, bro, you want to talk about white privilege, bro? Like, come on, man. Ben McAdoo, man. Ben McAdoo. Oh, I don't know, bro. Like, you know, like I think I don't know if they could get what the Browns got out of Baker. Like, if Baker is the guy, can they get what the best that the Browns got out of him? I don't know, man. Like, it could be a dumpster fire.
It could be, man. It could be. And then there are times last season where he looked like a dumpster fire.
Right. On the Browns. Yep. But, you got Robbie Anderson, even though he talked
mad shit about Baker, bro.
That's going to be interesting. Got DJ Moore, who always gives the Saints their business. Old Keith Kirkwood over there. And, so, they got a decent squad. Christian McCaffrey, obviously a big question, man. If they can get him going, like he's such a huge. If they can get him going, like he's worth like 3 wins, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like he's the difference between them winning 7 games and 10 games. But I don't know, man. Like I teams like this where the coach is on a hot seat and he's just throwing everything at the dartboard trying to get. I'm super fascinated to see how the competition plays out because it's a literal competition.
Yeah, man.
Sam Darnold, he's been there, even though it's a new system. He was there for a mini camp. Teammates like him, like he's always been like a good guy that teammates like and stuff like that. And Baker coming in, we already heard about Baker. And Baker think he gonna be the starter. You know what I'm saying? And you would think he would be the starter, but I don't know if that's guaranteed. I think this is like a legit competition. It's a legit competition between the number 1 overall and the number 3 overall pick of the 2018 draft. Like, I don't think we ever seen that.
That's wow.
So you literally gonna get to see like who's better, and like just off tape, Baker is like better. Like it's to me, it's just not even a question. It's not even a question. But then you got all those other intangible things that go into it. So it's going to be interesting just to see how it plays out.
It will be, man. It really will be. I feel confident in saying that if Matt Rule has another shitty season, like he gone. He out there.
He gone. He out of here.
He out.
Back to college.
Let's let's go to the Falcons. We love to show the Falcons. Went 7-10 last season, which in hindsight was impressive.
Impressive, bro. It was impressive.
Some of that is Matt Ryan related, but they don't got Matt Ryan no more. Got Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, Calvin Ridley out for the season.
Drafted Drake London at like top 10.
And a defense that you got AJ Terrell, you got Grady Jarrett. Grady Jarrett. It's one of the worst talent deficient rosters in the NFL.
Man, I love offense, but man, like the past 2 years, you draft Kyle Pitts and Drake London, like at the top echelon of the draft. Is like just the way this whole roster is being built, just weird to me, bro. Like you don't have a quarterback, like you don't have one. Marcus Mariota, Desmond Ridder, like no, you don't have a quarterback right now. You know, this is bad team, man. Bad team. But like I'm gonna stick with my little prediction. I think Desmond Ridder has a chance to be like, I'm not saying he's gonna be good, but he's gonna have a few exciting games this season.
Yes.
Because he's gonna play, and I just think he's gonna come in and just do some things. And people are like, oh, Desmond Ridder, man, look at this guy. That's a nice throw. Wow, look at him run. You know what I'm saying? Like, just had one of those games where it's like, oh, this dude might have something. And he might not be anything, but I think he, as one of the rookies, he's going to get to play. Because, Mariota not starting 17 games. He's just not.
No,
not going to happen,
bro. Not going to happen at all. And we say all this shit about the Falcons, but one loss the Saints going to have to see if they're going to be to the Falcons. Probably not week one, then. Probably not week one, but they're going to lose to the Falcons.
Like, bro, they need to sweep the Falcons. Like, sweep the Falcons.
They have to, bro. They need to. There's no reason.
Take care of that business, man.
There's no reason for them to lose a single game to the Falcons this season. But
you shouldn't even have to, motivate yourself for that. Like, just beat them. Like, talent for talent, player for player. You put the Saints up against the Falcons. You should win.
Easily.
Like, you just need to come and play. Like, I don't want, that would be a very disappointing loss. Whatever game they lose, that'd be super disappointing, bro.
Mark it down, bro. Down. Bro. Know this fucking team. Let's end with Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Went 13-4 last season. God damn, they won 13 games last season.
Man.
And two of those losses, though.
Hello.
Didn't score a single point in one of those losses. Before we talk about the Bucs, I wanted to highlight the whole Leonard Fournette being overweight at mandatory minicamp. Reportedly was weighing 260 pounds at mandatory minicamp, bro. This nigga thinking me? Shit. And then it gets tweeted about today and whatever articles posted, and then someone in the comments or in the mentions on Twitter called him playoff Denny's, bruh, and I'm about God.
Not Dennis.
Playoff Denny's, bruh. Don't make me laugh, bruh. But what a weird offseason it's been for this fucking team. Tom Brady retired. Oh, just kidding, didn't retire. Oh, Bruce Arians, someone take a different role. Now our DC Top Bowls is now the head coach. It's a team that, again, kind of similar to the Packers in that they're not rebuilding, they're kind of running it back, but also kind of they trying to go get younger too, because JPP not going to be on the team. They didn't bring back Sue. They got Akeem Hicks, so they're still trying to compete and do things like that. Chris Godwin, he's not going to be ready for the start of the season because of injury. So he's got Mike Evans. They did go out and get Russell Gage in free agency, which is like a sneaky great signing. Annoying as shit. So they went out and got Russell Gage, who's a free agent from the Falcons. Just what are your thoughts on this team?
It's an interesting team, man, because like talent wise, they should be really good. But man, anytime a quarterback got half his leg out the game like that, man, it just feels like one and done. Like one and done in the playoffs.
Yep. They
go into the playoffs. Like I have no question about that. Will they win a division? That'll be up to the Saints, honestly. Like,
yep.
Saints gonna have to nut up, but they probably win a division. I think the offense is still gonna be really good. Defensively, I think they made the moves to be good enough. They still got, they got Akeem Hicks. They pretty much brought everybody back in the secondary. So I think they're going to be as good as they've been, man. Like, they're going to be a good 11, 12, 13 win team. But, I mean, it's just hard at this point to predict the quarterback play. Well, it's hard not to predict it because it's like Tom Brady just been so consistent. Even in the playoff game, they lost last year against the Rams, man. Like, he was great.
Like, he was a top 2 quarterback last season, bro.
Right. So it's like it's annoying, man. I hate talking about him. I was so happy he was gone.
Happy, bro. Happy. Just felt like I was rid of him, bro.
So happy he was gone, man. And hopefully this is the last year. So I mean, we'll see, man. But damn, it's gonna be a tough out, bro. Like, Saints, I know, like, we beat them. And we've had their number, but man, the team's so good, you can't just pencil it in like, oh, that's W.
No, you can't.
You can't do that.
Although I feel more confident about them beating the Bucs than I do about being like the Falcons.
Any other team, I have more confidence about them beating any other team than it. But still, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, it's we play them week 2.
Really? Oh shit!
Is it week 2 or week 3? One of them. I'm pretty sure it's week 2. Oh please, no, I have to check. I'm like 99% sure it's week 2. Nope. Yeah, week 2. Week 2 in New Orleans. That's gonna be the Greg Olsen, Kevin Burkhardt game.
Number 1 team.
Oh, okay. I do enjoy me some Kevin Burkhardt, but like the Greg Olsen love, can we stop on that?
I don't get it.
I don't get it all. Man, it's milk toast as shit. Anyway, we just covered the NFC in totality. We did the AFC. We've gone over every team for training camp, trying to get everyone caught up.
NFC weak, huh?
Done, bro.
Like, just looking at the NFC is like, damn.
Weak.
It's a weak conference, bro.
Weak, bro. Yes. It is. Like, you can, if you just think about potential playoff teams. Cowboys.
Like Rams number 1. Like they. Like,
I'm just going down the list of like the list I have up. So Cowboys, Eagles, Packers. I'm going to throw the Vikings in potentially. Bucks, Saints, Rams, Niners, and I guess Cardinals. So that's 9 potential teams, bro.
It's like nobody's scary.
No, at all. And I like people want to make like the Eagles sound scary, and I'm like, no. Like our team's supposed to be scared of the Packers now that like Devontae Adams isn't there. No. The only team that probably is like quote unquote scary is the Rams in terms of just talent.
Aaron Donald, it's like
that's it, bro. That's the only player you like. Oh, we got a game plan against him. Oh, wow.
Especially for the Saints. Oh Lord.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, You'll be watching it like a snuff film, bro.
Bro, I would bring like Sean Payton back just for that game. Like, help us, Sean. Like, help us figure out what to do with Aaron Donald.
That Aaron Donald against Reese gonna be like Faces of Death, bro. Gonna be gruesome. Gonna be a gruesome.
Because I remember when the Saints played Detroit in the playoffs, and they had Sue. And Sue was just a monster. Like Sue, they had Nick Fairley.
Yep.
And man, Saints were doing some crazy shit. These like trap blocks. I was like, what is this? But they were taking Sue like out. And it was crazy to me, like that they were just able to do that. Like you need some type of plan like that for Aaron Donald. Like you got to spend a lot of time to figure out how to neutralize that dude. I don't think you're gonna neutralize him, but at least just
slow him down, bro.
Slow him down or something, man. Because I can't stand him.
I can't even, bro. Can't stand his eyes. Oh, he's so good. It's fucking ridiculous, bro. It's so good. Anyway, we did the NFC. We did the AFC last week. We'll be back again this week talking about our 5 most burning questions going into training camp. I did want to let everyone know that we are trying to do more video shows, video podcasts for our YouTube channel. So as the season gets going, that's going to be a goal of ours, is to do more shows of that nature. I keep saying it, man, but football next week, man. Next week, training camp.
Yeah,
next Wednesday. It's here. And then after when training camp gets going, we're going to be full steam ahead. In terms of the second hashtag Saints Twitter or fantasy football podcast, I believe I had to go back and double check, but when I did the count today, there's one slot open. There's one more slot open in the second league. Everyone else, I believe, has been accounted for or been able to verify that they are a Patreon. So there's only one slot open. So whoever DMs the Twitter account, DMs me, put it in our Discord. Whoever does that first and I see it, that's who's going to get the last spot. So anyway, thank you so much for supporting us. We truly, truly appreciate it. Big things, especially with the season upcoming, big things underway that's going to be happening for the hashtag Saints for the podcast. Also, I just did want to give a shout out to Brian in terms of becoming a Patreon. We truly appreciate it. That was such extremely, extremely generous man. I can't thank you enough for supporting us and saying all the kinds of things you said on Twitter about the podcast. We truly do appreciate it. So we thank you for becoming a Patreon at such a amount that you were able to become a Patreon at. It's truly unbelievable. We really appreciate it. So with that, we're going to get out of here. We're going to be back in the next couple of days with our 5 most burning questions leading into training camp. Take care of yourself. Be good. With that, we're out.
Peace.
Got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.